Hey everybody, it is your suburban garden permaculture style guy, and I wasn't going to do a video today, but I'm going to do one real quick just because it's cilantro season. Yes, you've heard that right. It is cilantro season. In my yard, the going wild cilantro is starting to sprout everywhere. So this is cilantro. This is another plant. This will grow everywhere in this yard all year until about April of next year. This whole yard is covered in cilantro. That was one there. That's a baby one there. They're sprouting by the millions out here. There's cilantro. And I always love this time of year because it's so cool to have actual cilantro, just like, some kind of a food substance you might eat, growing wild in your yard. There, I mowed everything so I could let some of it come out more. This is a patch of it right here. That's all those little lime greenies you see. Those are all cilantro seedlings. And I think you can kind of tell if you know what cilantro looks like. So all those light greens are cilantro. Some of them sprouted up in my holes in my fabric from the other gardens that we did, right? There were so many cilantro seeds out here that cilantro actually planted itself in the holes nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and let them grow in for the new owners because they'll stay here until next year. So that's all cilantro. That's cilantro, cilantro. I love it when this happens. And I'm definitely going to be doing this on the new homestead as well. Trying to get stuff to go native for us like that. Having cilantro go wild in your yard probably seems kind of lame to people, but I am just tickled pink by it personally. That's cilantro. There's all cilantro all up into there. Yeah. So that and this little update on the cilantro and a little bit on the citrus real quick and the blueberries perhaps. The blueberries are starting to bud up for the next year. I think I was mentioning that in another video. May not look like much right now, but those are the flower buds for next year. And those weren't there just, a couple of months ago at the most. The stick would have just been a little thin stick right here, but then the buds are starting to swell for next year's fruit. You can see them kind of up and down these stems, the swells. So I'm really excited about that for the new people. They're going to get a lot. But the citrus is looking so good. Oh, these Miho Satsuma that I got there from Home Depot. And man, these things, they're just hanging on the tree. I guess they're ripe. They're not super sweet, but the tree isn't doing so hot, just because it had transplant shock real bad. But eating them, they're definitely not something you don't want to eat. And they're awesome. They're our own. You can see where we've been peeling some off. When I break them off, you have to cut these off or it rips them off. Look, you can see we've got chunks of meat left on there when we pulled some off. Up here, I pulled these. We've been eating them slowly but surely and leaving them on the tree, in the meantime. These oranges, man, I'm starting to think these were grapefruits or something. These things are getting just ridiculously big. I don't know if you can tell how big those are, but I had to put a 2x4 up under here because this is a seriously strong, thick branch. But it's not seriously strong enough for the weight that just dramatically increased recently on this cluster of about 6. Oop, there goes my board. See, look, ooh, it wants to go down a lot lower. I don't like to do the cheating because I know it needs to build its own strength, but these are a lot on a short branch. I know I just messed y'all all up. But yeah, you can see how much weight it's taken off of that. Ooh, they're starting to fill out. Looking crazy good. But I can't lift on them and play with them. I'm gonna knock my board over. That is not the most secure thing in the world. But anyway, look at that big old sucker. Wow. Big old ugly navel orange. Nice. A little more over here. These things, and again, I can't remember the variety. I have to look back at my own video because I have the name tag. It fell off. And it's in one of my videos, so I just don't know what it is. These are supposed to be the world's largest mandarins, or the largest satsumas, because it was crossbred with a grapefruit type plant known as a pomelo. So these are supposed to get really big, probably in the future when the plant's doing better. But they're starting to ripen, and they look so good. Even though this one's a little smaller than that one, you can see the difference. Look at all this fluting around the stem. Man, that just looks so awesome. I'm really excited and stoked about this. Oh, look at there. There's another nice one right there. Again, these are just big old nuggets. There's not many on this tree, but there's like almost a dozen. It just doesn't look like it. There's a cluster of 4 of them bad boys. Look how these almost look like those oranges, and these are supposed to be cuties like satsumas or mandarins, right? Not necessarily known to be the largest of fruits. Oops, sorry. Yeah, isn't that nice? Home Depot specials that they got transplanted into these pots about this time last year. And there should be some video on that. Actually, there probably ain't no video on that because I wasn't doing YouTube there for a while, recording anything for y'all. I did a bunch of Facebook stuff, but I ranted, and to be funny, I used a lot of curse words, and it was just for my friends and family, so y'all ain't gonna be able to see all that, not on this platform anyway, because I would be censored for the way I talk. These key limes are starting to flower again. And I'm gonna see if y'all can see this. I know I'm losing the light, but these are actually little baby key lime flowers, and this thing keeps on flowering. And it has put on some new fruit, even though it's winter fruit. I hear citrus do that sometimes. It has some flowers.